The effort then of the rally rider out of the saddle. Scully once again beginning to fan the flames. He's pouring on the coals. Oh, look at this for a crash. And the field absolutely drilling it round this circuit. Oh, it was so close.
Hello and welcome to Strathclyde Loch, just a stone's throw away from the latest addition to the Tour Series catalogue, a new venue here in Motherwell. So from the very west of Wales, we've crossed over the border into Scotland for the start of a triple header as the Tour Series goes into overdrive with 3 races in 1 week.
It was a split stage at Aberystwyth last time out, and that saw the Tour Series lead change hands twice on the same night. Madison Genesis handed back the top spot they took from One Pro Cycling in Redditch after a great all-round team performance in the 1.4 kilometre hill climb up Constitution Hill earlier in the day. One Pro Cycling's George Harper was the individual standout rider, setting a stunning time of 3:52.744, some 2 seconds faster than second place NFTO's Johnny McAvoy. This was Harper's first ever Tour Series win. Pedal Heaven again showed that they mean business by finishing runners-up on the day, backed by a strong performance from Steve Williams. Pedal Heaven now moved up 3rd place overall in the championship standings, behind Madison Genesis and One Pro Cycling. On to the main event, and yet again the Tour Series teams faced challenging racing conditions with another wet circuit. All 3 intermediate sprints were taken by different riders on the night. First up was NFTO's James Leslie Williams, with Morgan Kniesky in the mix, in an attempt to wrestle the chain reaction points jersey back from Madison's Tom Stewart. But Stewart was clearly not ready to let it go, with a dominant effort in sprint 2, leaving Kniesky in his wake.
Nobody's going to deny him the 5 points, and I didn't see any evidence of Kniesky.
The slippery wet conditions though would take their toll.
Oh, look at this for a crash.
And before long, riders began to hit the deck, including Morgan Kniesky and One Pro's Janto Barker. With the field now blown to pieces, John Mould took sprint 3 with no sign of either Stewart or Kniesky. In the closing stages, double Aberystwyth winner Ed Clancy was part of a 4-rider group to finally edge away alongside Tobin Horton, Mike Northey and John Mould. Although the quartet were caught with 2 laps to go, setting up a 16-rider dash for the line.
Perfect timing there by Clancy. And here it comes, burying himself. Clancy then going clear of the rest to get the victory.
So then, Clancy extends his tally of individual wins in the Tour Series to 7, while also sharing equal points with Tom Stewart on the night, which means the Madison Genesis rider holds on to the points leaders jersey. Madison Genesis once again kept their heads, and more importantly their team together, to claim the team win, and the leaders jersey they lost only a matter of hours before was theirs once again. A shattered One Pro Cycling could only manage 4th on the night, behind Pedal Heaven and NFTO. Pedal Heaven defending 3rd spot on the table.
Well, since we've made our way north of the border and crossed over into Scotland, it's time to indulge in our annual tradition of a quick word with Davy Lyons of Velisure Starley Primal.
Hi.
Davy, it's nice to see you again.
Thank you.
Now, you rode in Aberystwyth and you had a good race. We'll come to that in a minute, but how come you missed out on the first couple of rounds?
We had a wee vacation
Right.
just prior to the first couple of rounds. One of my friends was getting married, so we decided to go a wee trip to Vegas.
Las Vegas.
Yeah, Las Vegas.
For the Mayweather fight as well.
For the
you caught
Mayweather
rid of
fight,
that.
yeah.
So it was a question of either the Isle of Wight and the Tour Series or Las Vegas.
Yeah. So obviously the wife was happy about that.
Now listen, Aberystwyth, a circuit you know very well, back on the Tour Series again. And you had a really good race, and so did your team this time out.
Yeah, we did. Started off with the hill climb, which going into that we probably had a pretty strong team for that. We've got quite a lot of good climbers in the team, apart from myself obviously. So I was going to be the weak link there, but unfortunately we had a couple of crashes just at the top on the kind of gravel section. But we still did well with that. The main race itself, it was wet. I think it rained like for the only hour of that day on the time of the race. And we still managed to pick up 6th team, so we're quite happy with that.
And 6th in front of some big names as well.
Yeah. So in front of, I think it was Raleigh, JTL and Wiggins.
Well, that's yeah, it's impressive, isn't it? And that's a feature of this Tour Series so far, that actually the lesser teams, with respect, are actually making their mark in a way that's been unexpected in the last few years at least.
Yeah, definitely. The format's changed, and I think it's working for some teams, and some teams it's maybe not working. The first round or two we had a bit of unluckiness. One of the guys snapped his neck in the first round on the start line, so that pretty much put us out of contention straight away. Second round we had one of the guys was ill. He still had to start, but straight away you're a man down again, so you're always chasing that time, and unless you can ride off the front and get 2 or 3 minutes, which in these races it's not going to happen.
Absolutely, that is a facet of the racing. Now tell me, just behind us over there is the Motherwell circuit.
Yeah.
You'll not have seen it before today, but you've had a look round. What's it like?
It's fast. It's going to be really fast. It's really windy, as you can see, for the flags, and the buildings are moving. It's pretty windy today. There's a fast downhill section onto a left-hander, which is going to be fast as well, with a tailwind, and then it's going to go up a wee drag, and then it's going to go left, and depending on how the wind goes there, if it's a block headwind, then the bunch is going to come back together, but if it's a crosswind, then it's going to be in pieces.
Well, good stuff. Good luck out there. Davy Lyons, he's from Scotland. He eats these kind of circuits for breakfast. He's that hard. Let's have a look at the Motherwell circuit, new to the Tour Series, in a bit more detail.
Motherwell is situated on the east side of the Clyde Valley, 12 miles southeast of Glasgow. The anti-clockwise 1.2 kilometre Motherwell circuit will be a new experience for all the Tour Series riders, with a number of hard left-handers making positioning on the race key. Gaining a favourable line into the last 90-degree bend will be high on the list of priorities for the riders as they approach the finish on the last lap. Once known as a major centre of steel production, Motherwell is now a bustling 21st century town, including Strathclyde Country Park, which is just one part of the town's excellent range of leisure facilities. The park, recently the venue for the Glasgow 2014 Commonwealth Games triathlon event, offers great activities for everyone. North Lanarkshire Heritage Centre is located in the heart of the town centre. As the venue for this year's Scottish round of the Pearl Izumi Tour Series, it's sure to be another hit with Scottish spectators.
Well, the first group of riders to get to grips with this Motherwell circuit will be the women. But before we see them in action, here's a reminder of what went on in round 1 of the Matrix Fitness Women's Grand Prix Series.
There was a significant smattering of gold dust spread over the field for the first round of the Matrix Fitness Women's Series, with London 2012 gold medalists Dame Sarah Story, Danny King and Laura Trott all taking part. For Trott, it was a debut at a Tour Series event, racing now in the blue colours of her new team. Her every pedal stroke would be closely watched by her former teammates at Wiggle Honda, as well as the rest of the field. The first sprint of the day was attacked by Katie Archibald of Pearl Izumi Sports Tours International, only to be overtaken in the end though by Jessie Walker of RST Racing Team. The second sprint went to Team Giordana Triton's Nikki Juniper. In the end though, a group of 5 riders established an unassailable lead over the rest, stretching it out each time they raced uphill to the finish line and beyond. Danny King, Katie Archibald, Nikki Juniper, Laura Trott and Eleanor Barker making up an elite quintet which contained national, world and Olympic champions. On the final lap then, Laura Trott opened up her sprint at just the right time to take an almost effortless-looking win ahead of her GB teammate Danny King.
Trott that's going to lead this one out. Trott looking very good, and now she comes up to the line. Trotty takes it on the line.
Not a bad way in the end to get your Tour Series career up and running.
Well, one rider who didn't feature last time out in Redditch is the defending series champion. And here she is, Eileen Rowe. Now, you're back in business tonight.
I am indeed.
Wearing the National Criterium Champion jersey as well. British champ, that looks good, doesn't it?
It does look good, yeah. Hopefully I can do it some justice. We'll see.
It was fantastic for you last time out, wasn't it, last year? What went right, and are you in the same kind of form and shape to replicate that sort of success?
Last year was, it was amazing. I don't know, everything went really well last year. This series, it was like a table I took off from it, and obviously the British champs won that after the Tour Series. This year, however, is a bit different. I've been racing since November. I went to Australia with Wiggle, and this year it's been basically all road. So last week I raced the milk race, and that was a very big shock to the lungs as well as the legs. So we'll see how tonight goes.
So, big partisan crowd. Where's home? How far from home are you here?
Not very far, only 45 minutes.
So there'll be a few punters here roaring your name.
Punters, yeah, there's already been a few punters.
Well, do yourself proud. I'm sure you will. It's good to see you back in those colours in particular. So good luck.
Thank you very much. It's nice to be back.
Better go and race.
Oh, yeah.
All right, okay. Let's find out how she and indeed the rest of the women's race gets on in the company of Hugh Porter and Brian Smith.
The field approaching this next corner on this fast 1.2 kilometre anti-clockwise circuit, and there is the green and white jersey being worn by Jessie Walker, who is currently second in the points competition, but because the leader Juniper is wearing the series leaders jersey, Walker enjoys the honour tonight.
And in the pink at the front, the Pearl Izumi Sports Tours International team, they've got 4 riders represented in the front of this race, so it looks as if they want to take it on from the front.
Well, they're obviously smarting after the first round because they were down in 4th place. The team award going to Team Giordano Triton on that occasion in Redditch. There's Katie Archibald, just moving through to the front now, former world record holder and world champion for the team pursuit. But this now is the approach then to the first sprint.
And it's Gabriella Shaw leading the way up the finishing straight. Just behind, you see Jessie Walker in the Sprints Leaders jersey, that white and green Sprints Leaders jersey. Coming to the front, can Gabriella hang on for maximum points? And
also there is Eileen Rowe, the national champion. She won that crown in Hull last year in a thrilling sprint finish. So Rowe from Scotland, like Archibald, out to excel here in front of her home crowd.
And Eileen will be absolutely loving it here, as you say, Hugh, in front of her home crowd from Dunfermline, not that far away. And she was the serious winner of this competition last year.
Yeah, and she won a couple of rounds along the way. She didn't ride in round 1 this year in Redditch, but making her debut here in the series. Now, this is a handsome little lead for sure. And, of course, it's all down to the rest of Chase, and her teammates will just be sitting in the wheels, licking their lips at the thought of taking over the pace setting if Shaw is swept up.
Well, the wind is blowing around this circuit, but she's on this small descent. Just going down the gears, sweeping round this corner. Can she hang on this circuit round to get the maximum points? She just looks behind. The bunch not really letting her go.
And the one thing about this circuit is it finishes in Hamilton Road, and Hamilton Road ramps up. And that's a perfect platform for any of the strong riders to ratchet up the pace and reshape the final outcome. But still Shaw persists here.
It's a very slender advantage as the team of Giordano Triton come to the front, trying to look after the series leader, and that's the rider in the white and red leader's jersey, and that's Nikki Juniper.
Sitting second wheel at the moment, and she started the competition after the first round in Redditch with 1 point advantage over Jessie Walker. And these two are near the front. We expect to see them duelling for the points. Remember, it's 5 to the win, down to 1 for 5th, and here comes Juniper. Juniper committing herself now. The early strike for the line, and she gets it. 5 points to Juniper. Walker was over the line second to get the 4, and it looked like the national champion Rowe just clinging on to 3rd spot for 3. But Juniper here, really eager to get on with it as we confirm the result. First 3 called correctly. 4th was Gabby Shaw, and Anna Slipok coming in for the 1 in 5th position. Well, still quite a long way to go, and we're waiting for the first serious move that is going to organise the race, with riders pitching for the possible win here in Motherwell.
And it's the national champion, Eileen Rowe, coming to the front, trying to keep the pace on. You see gaps starting to appear, but that was a great sprint there by Nikki Juniper. She left Jessie Walker for dead on that finishing straight.
Now then, on the right, we can see Katie Archibald. Archibald, this is one of her classic moves. She's just decided to apply the pressure and ignite the burners, and once she gets clear, I tell you what, there's nobody in this field strong enough to pull Archibald back if she does get rid of the peloton.
And it's a reaction from Nikki Juniper, the series leader, but she sits up. She's already sprinted the lap previous.
But it's the 21-year-old from Milgai with a bit between her teeth now, trying to blow the peloton away. Archibald in the lead. Welcome back, and Archibald is navigating her way around this circuit with speed to spare. She's almost half a lap clear now of her nearest challengers.
You can just see the depleted bunch behind the pink jerseys of our teammates, just policing things. And this is what we often